let's try to make a new friend. When I say make a new friend, an industry friend, somebody within your industry, in your market, that I know a lot of times we're resistant because we think, oh God, they're my competitor. They're my competitor, man. I'm not going to do that, but let's look at it a little bit different way. What's the advantages? And there's numerous advantages of making friends with your competitors, because you never know when you might have to call on somebody to help you out with something. You do things that they don't do, or they do things that you don't do. And at the end of the day, it's hard to find somebody you like, number one, but you may come upon a situation where, hey, I remember, man, I met Mike, or I met Larry, or I met Susie, or whatever. Hey, let me give them a call. They can maybe help me out. So since it's National Make a Friend Day, if you see somebody, reach out, introduce yourself, tell them hello. You never know. Could be a start to a great thing. I've met a lot of people that way over the years. 43 years of being in the lawn and landscaping business. I've met plenty of people that I didn't care a bit about. And yeah, I said that first. But I've met a lot of great people, and I'm sure people that's met me think the same thing. Man, that Wayne Voles, he's a jerk. And that's okay too, man. None of us are everything to everybody, but all of us can be something to somebody. And it's all about networking and relationships. So let's take National Make a Friend Day to the next level, and let's see what we can do to help ourselves and our companies be more successful, be more profitable, and maybe have somebody that you can count on. With that being said, I want to talk a little bit about customer service, because I got into it a little bit the other day. We talked about it, but I wanted to just elaborate just a few minutes on it today. And, what do you consider good customer service when somebody has had a complaint? I want to add that to it, because good customer service could be a million things, and we don't have 4 days to talk about it. But just briefly, what do you consider to be good customer service when somebody has a complaint? Because I had a bad experience the other night, and I'm not sure if I shared this with y'all Wednesday or not, but with Cracker Barrel. And yeah, I'm going to throw them under the bus a little bit, only because, in my opinion, they didn't try to do anything to make it right. They didn't try to do anything to make it right. And it was just my wife and I, Jane, placed an order for two of us. And when we got our delivery from, it doesn't matter who it was, I'm not sure if it was Grubhub or whatever, one of those places, it wasn't their fault. They just brought what they gave them to bring. The order wasn't even there. How do you screw up when you're trying to put two different things in a bag? I could see, if you're getting food for 10 people, that's something we all know could never work out right anywhere. I mean, that's just the expectation level, or at least on my end, the expectation of trying to get anything right for more than one person is a challenge. Two can be even worse, and anything past three, I've got to the point I almost call them up and say, here's my credit card, send me something to eat. Send me something out to eat, because what I order I'm probably not going to get anyway. And I mean, the reality of that is it's funny, but it's about half-assed true, But Cracker Barrel, when I called them about it, I said I'd like to speak to a manager for a minute. Not that anybody cares. I get that. Nobody probably cares. They'll pretend that they care, and that's why we're going to talk about it in your business a little bit here in a minute. But I was on hold, I know, for 19 minutes. 19 minutes. Yes, you're hearing me right. I wasted 19 minutes of my life. How stupid was that? Sitting there thinking somebody was going to pick up the line that actually gave a crap. Nobody ever did. I decided not to call back because, at the end of the day, it probably nothing's going to change. That's the reality of it. But it gave me a bad taste in my mouth, no pun intended, when they just didn't act like they didn't even care. So, when it comes to customer complaints, how do you handle them? I know it's the last thing you want to deal with. If you're out, let's just say you're a smaller operation, and you're out working your butt off all day long, and you either get a call on your cell phone, or you got a message on your cell phone or whatnot, or a message on your answering service, whatever it is, when you hear it, and it's the last person you want to deal with. I get it. I understand it. Let me see. We got a text here. I'm going to see what we got to say. We had an issue with Olive Garden. Their receipt and our receipt were totally different. The manager wanted to argue with us over what we ordered. I mean, isn't that the truth? I mean, why? It's just the little things. It's somebody that just doesn't care. I mean, they just don't care about making it right. And what I want you to do, and what I want to be better at, is giving the impression to my customers that we do care. Right out of college, I had a corporate type job. I worked for a college university here locally, Sullivan University, for about 4 years. And we actually had a button that we wore. Yeah, that's right. I had to wear a suit and a tie and all that to work. But we had a button that simply said, "I care." Now, this goes back to 1983. A lot of you guys weren't even born then. But the point is this. Caring is a company culture. And if you don't care, who's going to care? That's the reality of it. Let's see, we got another one here. Let's see. It says, I go meet the customer that evening and we come to an agreement. Absolutely. Deal with it right away. John says, I blame it on poor management training. Absolutely. It's the little things. So I challenge you to ask yourself, when you get that call, and a couple of you guys have already said what you do, and that's cool, and that's professional. But I want to ask you this. Have you ever just ignored it? Just cleared the call, thinking, oh, God, I'm not calling them back. If truth be known, I bet you've done it. I bet you've done it. Because I'm going to stand up here and tell you that Wayne Voles has done it. Yes, that's right. I'm going to be the first one to throw myself under the bus. I haven't done it in recent history, but there were times back in the day when I was out working every day, busting my ass, I was tired, I got back in, and there's Miss Smith, the chronic complainer, with another complaint, and I just said, I ain't dealing with it. And I've hit the erase button. I am certainly not suggesting that that is the right thing to do. So for you guys that out there might be thinking, well, dang, Wayne, I was thinking about maybe engaging in some consulting and coaching with Profits Unlimited, but that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I just want you to know that I understand. I understand what you're going through. As a small company, I understand what you go through. As a larger company, I understand, and I've made the mistakes. You're going to have unhappy customers. And when you look up the statistics, and I know you guys can Google it, and don't do any Googling if you're driving and listening to me here on Turf's Up Radio right now. But when you look up the statistics on why customers cancel, it's normally not because you had a mad customer. When you look it up and you find the answer, you're going to see that it's generally, and I'm going to use a word here, I don't have it written down, but I just remember it from talking about it quite a bit. It's the attitude of indifference that you or your employees have to a customer complaint. In other words, you're not willing to own it. So when people stop buying from you, or they stop going to Olive Garden, or they stop going to Cracker Barrel, or they stop having Mike's Lawn Service and Landscaping take care of their work, or they fire Wayne's Lawn Service, it's normally not because we made a mistake. It's normally because we didn't respond to the complaint about the mistake. And I think that's what we need to look at. And it's not always about giving somebody something free. Think of yourself. When somebody's, when you're mad at somebody or someplace for something that's happened, you're not always wanting something free. Now, some people are just free this, free that, and that's all they want, something free. But the reality of it is, most of us aren't like that. We just want the problem solved. It's like me. I didn't want my dinner free. I wanted to have dinner with my wife, for God's sakes, the other night. And now we couldn't. So regardless if they're going to bring it back or bring it out, that wasn't the point, man. I just wanted to talk to somebody and really just be consoled, I guess, that to say, hey, man, we're sorry. Most times sorry is enough. But when you don't even take the time to pick up the phone to answer or respond to a customer complaint, I'll go back to Cracker Barrel again. I will. But I'm going to have a hard time, and it'll be a while before I go back, because they simply don't care.